Hello and welcome to the Social Marketing Academy. This is Christopher Tompkins, your host. Today's show is going to be focused on online advertising. Are you ready for the ride ahead? Buckle up. There's lots of twists and turns, so I want to help you understand some of the things that you need to think about just before you set that online advertising budget, because there's lots of different factors that you need to be considering. So I want to share with you some of the top things that I always share with my clients and at the Go Agency as to how to build the perfect online advertising budget. No matter if you're focusing on social media or Google or display or geo or IP, whatever. So we'll go through all of that today. I'm going to give you some great tips that I hope will help you refine your budget so that you're looking at things the right way and you can focus on results rather than trying to kind of pick budget numbers out of the air, which is not the way you should do it, folks. So if you have never listened to the Social Marketing Academy before, welcome to the show. We come live to you as often as we possibly can, and we want to share information that I've learned and my team have learned at the Go Agency, which is an online sales and marketing firm. We specialize in social media marketing, online advertising, email marketing, a whole slew of things. And we see lots of things every day pop up that we can share with more people because we want to amplify this education so that not everybody makes the same mistakes, or if everyone is going to try something new, they do it with their best foot forward. So that's what the Social Marketing Academy is all about. If you want to learn more about the Go Agency, check out our website. It's www.gosalesandmarketing.com. You can check it out there. We have a great ebook up right now, so check that out, download that, check out our blog, and also always subscribe. If you need anything from me personally, or you want have a show idea that you want to kick through, get in touch with me. I have tons of social media links on the Go Agency website that you can connect with me. DM me. I do not mind it, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can. But let's focus more on today's topic, which is online advertising. Now, setting an online advertising budget is something that is a little elusive in terms of a really straightforward method because there are so many variables. Now, if you are jumping in for the first time, the first thing I want to let you know is that there's lots of different quote-unquote modes of transportation or channels that you can do your online advertising in. So let's think about the basic ones that you might be thinking just because it's the Social Marketing Academy, right? You're thinking social marketing. So maybe we'll start with maybe like a Facebook or an Instagram, a LinkedIn, a Twitter. Also, you can think about YouTube as a channel. There's lots of different elements that you can do to do advertising on all of those very successfully. But also there's other things outside of social. There's Google display ads. There's geo ads, which could be geo-targeted, depending on a demographic, or they could be geo-fenced, which is a very, very specific geographic location that you can send ads to. Or are they just network ads, or are they IP ads? Which are retargeting ads that are based off of website visits or web page visits, whatever you want. So, and there's more. I'm just scratching the surface, but these are the most popular ones that I've seen. And did you know that all of those existed? So this is not the show to tell you all of the different ways that you could advertise online, but I want you to understand that there's more variables than you understand right now that are out there that will go into your online advertising campaign. So first off, let's just understand that there's lots of places that we can put the money into for ads. We have the social, we have the whatever. So let's move on from there. Now, what is your target audience? Is it a very specific target audience, or is it a very broad target audience? Are you looking for everybody in America that's aged 18 to 65 plus, or are you dealing with a very specific demographic? That does play a role into your advertising budget. Now, the reason why I say that is because the next item on the list is how much does your service cost? How much does your product cost? So when you make a sale, what does that sale number look like? How many individuals is, I mean, how much money is that? So because we're thinking about ROI here, right? Because we're thinking about our ads and our ad budget. So if I can make $2,000 on ads, if I'm spending $2,000 to make $2,000, that's kind of a wash, right? Unless there's some sort of growth strategy off the back of that. There's some sort of drip and upsell. But what if there's not? What if that's it? Then you've just basically done all this work and you've got new people, and maybe you don't have a recurring service, so they're going to just do a one and done. So how much do your products and services cost? Is it do you have $1,000 a month service? Do you have a one and done $19.99 product? That does really change things up, right? Because if you're going to hit a broader market with a lower priced product, you may have more success, you may have less success. But it's nice to know what you're going to be looking at once you get into these platforms. Because targeting is one of the first things that you're going to have to go through, targeting and budgeting. So this is the step on many of these platforms. So that's, okay, so we have that. We're thinking about what we're looking at. But then the last thing, and there's 100 different things I could mention here, but in just in essence, to make this a very straightforward conversation between you and I, what are your KPIs? What's your ROI look like? What do you make? So for example, if I am selling a service that happens, it's usually 6 months at $1,000 a month. So for a regular contract, a sale would be $6,000. Okay? Then I'm going to have my target audience picked out. I have everything going. We have to think about how long is the sales process. Do you have a sales process that is 6 months long or 12 months? Or is it a one-call close? Or are people just placing orders? So if you're looking at a key performance indicator as a sale, and say you're saying, well, one sale is $6,000, so that's what I'm looking for. It's going to be hard to track a sale unless they can transact immediately. And what that means is without consultation, without sales from you. Because what you're looking at then is you're looking at prospects. So what is a prospect worth to you? Then I think that is a more realistic number. So how do you figure this out? I'm going to tell you a lot of math, but it's not going to be killer. So follow me here. So what you're looking at is this. So look at your close rate. Look at how many prospects that you're servicing that are actual good prospects, not like a bunch of crap that you're dumping into your funnel and just shaking out to see if you can find gold. Just really good qualified people that are coming through and you're chatting with. What percentage of them are closing? So maybe, how about you get 10 prospects in a month and you're closing 5? That means you have a 50% close rate. So what I would do is that let's look at it this way. That $6,000 service, so $1,000 a month for 6 months, $6,000. You're getting 10 prospects a month and you're closing 5. Then I would say maybe set your budget your ROI goal at $3,000, which is half of the $6,000. Because not every person that comes through as a prospect converts to a sale. I hope that makes sense. Because one of the things that's really misunderstood when budgeting for online advertising is just like, yeah, blast it out. So if I spend $10,000, I'm going to make $500,000. Is that what? No, that's not how it goes. There's more things that go into it. So there's actually mechanical, mathematical crap that you have to look at on the back end of your website if you're going to be transacting there, and seeing how many people are abandoning your carts if you're selling a product. So if you're sending quality traffic from your advertisements and you're spending $1,000 a month, everyone's going to your product page and not even going into your cart system. Either your product's the issue, your website's the issue, the target audience is the issue, or the ad's the issue. Look at that. Look at all those factors. And they all play against one another. So you can't ever just point at one thing and blame it, because there's a lot of factors at play that you have to figure out. And as marketers, we all know that this is kind of the game, right? We have to constantly move one of the little nozzles, and then another nozzle will happen, and then we have to move this button and then this lever, and then we have to kind of keep refining. And that's what advertising is all about. But I want you to start off on the right foot. You have to think about budget in a very, very realistic way. Because what I do not want to happen to you is what happens to a lot of people out there that attempt online advertising on their own. They will spend $500 on an ad, which maybe is a big spend for them because they've never done it before, so that's fine. And they didn't get any return, so they immediately write it off. There's nothing else. There's nothing else is looked into it. There's no more looked into that at all. It's just basically, it didn't work. Screw this, I'm out. That's terrible. Don't do that. Don't be that person. You have to understand why it didn't work. What was the issue? What did your audience look like? What did the ad look like? Did it have a misspelling in it? Was the photograph did it have too much text on it that wasn't serving up correctly, or was pixelated, or your website was down that week? Or there's so many different features. So because a lot of people forget that so many different things of marketing is tied together. So if you like I said, website being down, if you've regularly scheduled website maintenance and you're and you're running a $2,000 a day ad at the same time and your website's where they're going, man, that sucks. That really sucks. And you don't want that to happen to you. But I digress. When you're looking at creating a budget that is feasible, think about what you want to get out of it. Okay? So think about, do you want visibility? Do you want branding? Do you want people to view the video that you've created, this commercial that you've done? Do you want people to buy? Do you want people to click and go visit your website or read your blog? Or do you want to get email addresses? You have to make a decision on what you want and how you're going to measure it. But also, not that you want 10 email addresses. What the hell does that mean to you monetarily? How much money do those 10 email addresses can possibly make you? Again, think about getting, I got 10 prospects and I closed five of the 10. That means I have a 50% close rate. So if I'm doing, and if I'm saying my average sale is 6,000, then I could say 3,000. Why don't you try doing the same sort of rough justice metric on your email people or email signups or anything else? Because saying that you're getting millions of impressions or that you're getting tons of engagement or are wonderful if those are the key performance indicators that you are looking to affect. If you are not, and you really want to get orders, or you want people to get into your cart system or whatever, those are the metrics you really got to focus on, folks. So all in all, look at all of these different factors when you're coming up with your online advertising campaign. It is really, really of utmost importance that you focus your budget the correct way. And understand that depending on the size of your business or what you're trying to do, a lot of companies on average will be spending between $1,000 and $2,000 a month on online advertising. And if you think, well, I can't afford that, then don't look into it just yet. Because if you're going to be spending a few $100s here and there, you're not going to get measurable results to the effect where it's going to make a difference where you're going to want to invest more. You may not even get proof of concept because maybe you're running an ad on a platform that's very expensive, like LinkedIn's very expensive, and you have a B2B service that you're selling. Maybe you want to run an ad and you only have $200 of a budget. That might only be running for a few days. So there's so many factors about that. How do you know if those 3 days were the most effective? Maybe your ad didn't even get to start performing before you were out of your budget, or. So there's so many different factors. But I do feel that spending money on advertising is an important factor to growing your business if that is what you're focused on. But understanding what the spend is and who you're trying to target and where you're going to do it is the way forward. Also, I think spreading your advertising budget around to different platforms to test is not a bad idea. It's a marketing function because people will say, "Well, why do I want to do that? Why do I want to take $2,000 and just like throw it on the roulette wheel and bet on black?" And it's not necessarily the case. I think that what you're doing is you're finding out how you're using that as a market research cost. Because if I understand that Facebook is my marketplace and that's where I'm getting a higher return, I want to put more money there. If I'm on Instagram and I'm seeing that's gangbusters, I want to put my money there. And then maybe go back and revisit those other platforms later with a different campaign. But finding out what works and then reinvesting in it at a higher level is the online advertising game until you hit the plateau where you cannot make any more, and it doesn't make as much sense, so you have to change your strategy. And that's a constantly evolving beast. So that's online advertising. I hope there's some really good nuggets in there. I think there is. This is many of the things I would mention on one of my consultations that I have with one of my clients. So I hope that this was like a little consultation between you and I, and that you will now be able to look at online advertising just a little bit differently. All right, folks, you've been listening to me, Christopher Tompkins, on the Social Marketing Academy. As always, all of this content is on the website. So go to gosalesandmarketing.com, gosalesandmarketing.com, and go to our blog page. There's tons of extra resources for you to dive into and to learn more about online advertising, as well as other great marketing topics that will help you build your business. So until next time, folks, this is Christopher Tompkins from the Social Marketing Academy. Please subscribe, and I will talk to you very soon. Take care, folks.